Hari Om. I'm Swami Satchitananda here. Today I want to talk to you about something which I've been thinking about for quite some time. The more and more I think about it, the more clarity is there about the reality of the world outside. See, we tend to divide all the people that we know as either good or bad. Okay? There are many religions who say that you are born a sinner and you will have to repent for it, and you have to make sure that you are living a life by which you can go to heaven or some place like that, right? So this good and bad conclusion doesn't seem very correct to me. Okay? In Vedic culture, we talk about whether a person is ignorant or knows what he's talking about. So this deep ignorance, what does it do actually? The ignorance, we are driven by the senses. Okay? We use all aspects of our mind, but we don't use our buddhi, the discriminating mind. Yeah? And because of that, what happens is we are attracted by what is there, what we want, our desires, and then we run after that. And running after that, we try to acquire it, right? And in the process, you start a circle of happiness, unhappiness. That circle of pain and happiness starts with that. Action and reaction starts with that. So we say that the cause for that is that you are not aware. Don't judge a person and say that the person is bad or good. Today, I find it very difficult to tell somebody that you are a bad person. Okay? Person may be ignorant. You know? Today, I came across a person, a pretty spiritual person at that, and been trying to take life forward. And then suddenly he decided that he has had enough, and he wanted to go and purchase something which was very expensive, and got himself that. So I asked him, why did you do that? I mean, why do you want to go into debt? I thought you understood all that. He says, no, Swami, this was my ambition in life. I wanted to get this thing anyhow, and now I got it. So are you happy? Yeah, I'm happy. He said, but how long will that thing last that you got it? Whatever it is, I'm happy now. Okay. So what happens is the mind, discriminative mind does not work. Okay. And because of this, the ignorance which is there of what is the reality outside never comes to us in a proper way. So we never tell a person you are bad, you are good. Okay, you are ignorant, and so long as you are ignorant, you will continue to go through this process of action, reaction, acting to that, and then accumulating your papam and punyam. That is, your good deeds and your bad deeds. You will keep accumulating that over a period of time. So there is nothing called a bad person. There is not a thing called a good person of that. You may be ignorant. Okay? This is what Shankara says. Most of the trouble is arising because of our ignorance, not because we are bad or we are good. And then the question comes up that what about these people who are almost like demonic? You know, they are quite brought up as normal children, maybe with a similar kind of problem with other children have been brought up, but they are very demonic, and they will go to the extent of even hitting, killing people, and you know that they are bad people. How does this happen? I said, from our thing, we say that this is the lower level of the human being. Okay? It's an animalistic instinct which all of us have. Because of our past karmas, for some people, this is very, very strong. So if you carry forward that, and you carry forward that anger in your mind, and your behavior is more or less more animalistic than human being, then you will indulge yourself in these kind of things, do these kind of things. Okay? Take to drugs, kill yourself, drink so much, get yourself dependent. Hit, kill, physical violence you use against people, against your friend, against your own partner, and so on and so forth. So these are not bad people, but over a period of time, they have become like that, and irrespective of society in which they are born in, these things get exhibited. So these are also because of our past deeds that we are here today. And if we continue to do a particular thing in this lifetime, that becomes a groove which is very strong. Next time when you come, you will come in with all of those. So here the man has a choice to take away that ignorance. There's a man has a choice to look at what is happening, because he is the only person who has the ability to look within. And he can decide what is good for him. The problem is that the discriminative mind is not used. Okay? I'm more and more convinced about this. I don't know. Intelligent people are there. They are very, very intelligent. But they don't use the discriminative mind. You talk to them about philosophy, you talk to them about anything, they know so many things. But they don't use the discriminative mind when it comes to their own personal lives, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to managing money. So somehow they don't seem to go into that. So that is also an ignorance. So, as we said, somewhere along the way we had said earlier, the human being pursues four goals actually. First goal is artha, second one is kama, third one is dharma. Okay? And the last one, of course, is moksha, in which you don't want to be dependent on anything. Okay? Knowing the soil is being very, very weak on which you stand. So there is nothing wrong in pursuing these goals. But even though the Shastras, even the Vedas say, pursue it, no problem. Go for your security, go for your fun, and pursue it. Only if you pursue it will you know what are the pains that you will get from that. Suppose I tell you, don't pursue it. Will you stop? No. So what I am telling for you initially is, try to use your discriminative mind while you are following your security needs and your needs for fun, etc. And try to follow that, and you will reach where you want. But the thing is, because they are non-permanent in nature, because they can come and go, right? There will be pain involved in that. There will be pain involved in that. So knowing this, you pursue. But when the pain comes, they blame other people and they say, no, this pain is not because of me, it's because of the other person. Nah, it's because of you. You've chosen to do that. You've chosen to do that because not thought about it. Okay? You're not applied your mind. In fact, most people, the mind is a very complex process. Okay? So mind has this ability to be able to pick from the world outside 2 or 3 points, and based on that it will make you a framework, like how our now phones and cell phones and computers do. They'll give you a framework straight away. So be very comfortable with that, because the framework is already available. Once you know a couple of points here and there, you must be like that, or she must be like that, or this must be like that. So we don't explore it, we don't inquire about it. And therefore we go with a very unstable kind of a platform, and then we get into trouble, and we make wrong assessments of people and so on and so forth. Okay. So are these people bad really? No, no one is bad. And it's an end process of enquiry. Here in the Vedic tradition, we say it's a process of enquiry. First you will go for artha, security, then you will go for karma. Then you will follow dharma also. Dharma means a religious life. Okay? You follow religious life because you want that society, home should be stable, society should be stable. So it is some values that make the dharma possible. Some value system that makes the dharma possible. And so you can pursue that. Another question people put up, they say, if a person is, many people are religious people are there, why do they suffer also so much? Because they are religious person, they are following dharma, they should not suffer, no? Here again is a problem. Can a person, because he is religious or following a dharmic life, can he be also ignorant? Yes, he can also be ignorant. This is the beauty of it. Just because you are following certain norms, it doesn't mean that ignorance will not be there. Just think back on your own lives. Look at your own parents. Look at some friends you have seen. Here we can see many families. They have really lived a pretty religious life. They follow some rules, follow some dharma. They do some puja. They do this thing. They try to follow Lamdam. But then they come up and tell me, Swamiji, what is this like this? We are trying to do our best. Yes, we are also suffering very badly. Like the other person, he is having fun and he is suffering, but I am also having fun and suffering. What is the difference between you and me? There is no difference. You are ignorant. Because you think that by your following a religious life, you know everything. The point is you don't know. The problem is you still don't know. Somebody has told you that you are going to heaven. And you are doing that in the hope that for next life somewhere along the way you will be in a place called heaven where you will have all the pleasures of life in an extended way, close to your God, form of God. And you pursue that. Okay? But you still keeping your dependencies. You are still wanting the things that are not needed. You still want to live a luxurious life. You still want to have everything that you want. A classic case I see now is many of these tele-evangelists I see, they are the richest people. They are supposed to be people of God, right? How do they become so rich? Why do they want so much, such big houses? Why do they want 3 planes, 4 planes, aircrafts? So they have a logic for that also. The point is, many religious people, and we have even seen this in our own country, still have that desire for money and desire to acquire things and to put up things by which they will be respected in society. Okay. So it is not necessary, therefore, that just because you are following a religious life, you are not ignorant. Okay. How many people have gone to heaven and come back? Tell me. Do you know whether there is fire there or whether there is heat there or cold there? Do you know? So somebody has said we are imagining that. This is where the Vedantic philosophy, I think, is very superior in the way it approaches life. It says, see, even the people who are living dharmic lives, they are also ignorant about the fact that so long as they are involved with desires, and they are focusing on their wants, and so long as they want to have them and to keep them and to keep their status in society, they will suffer just as much as anybody else. Why should they be the exceptions? Now this, when we tell the people, they don't accept this. So no, it cannot happen to us. We are very good people. And religious people themselves, many religious people, and I put inverted commas, those who are preachers, teachers, priests, gurus, etc., they have still this strong desire. And they don't stand up as models. Everybody can see that. Okay? They don't stand up as models. They represent all the money can buy. They live their life in a way, all things which money can buy, they have them with us. So they have not realized a simple life is necessary for this kind of job. If you choose to be this kind of person, you have to live a different kind of a life. Why is this occurring? Because there is ignorance. And this is the basic thing. So when you look at the Vedic philosophy and the Vedic way of life, it's an inquiry into yourself. You have to go through one process and find out whether this is, you really want this. Because we are incomplete, what we do is we keep on taking things from outside. We go for money, we try to get things to compensate for that. We get to some types of people who will compensate for us. And so long as you don't feel that wholeness within your system, which is your essential you will keep on doing that. And the more you do that, the more ignorant you are. Because you're ignorant of the fact that essentially you are a spiritual person living in a human body, not the other way around. You are not a human body in which there is a spirit. No. You are a spiritual person. You are Satchitananda. You are the underlying consciousness of the whole universe. There is no God sitting there with, big hair and beard and everything and trying to dictate. God doesn't dictate all that. I don't think he has any time for dictating that. We dictate our lives. And that is why there is need for more than one life. Why the Eastern religions talk about more than one life? Because for you to experiment, you need more than one life. Some of us, we do something, we fail, again we will pursue it. We fail, again we pursue it. There is no learning. So long as you don't learn, circumstances will be provided to you where you will learn. One way or the other you will learn. Not in this life, next life. Not in next life, you will learn. So this is how the progression slowly happens. First from artha and kama, with our own desires, and then to a dharmic way of living, because that helps us to live better, right? But if you are going to think of dharmic ways of achieving a higher level of consciousness, that is not going to happen. Or stay in a heaven where everything will be given to you free by God. No. There is nothing like that. Right? So here, therefore, the concept of God is a non-form. It doesn't have a form. Because if he had a form, then he would be limited. So any form that you come up with, any form you come up with is a limited form. And your mind should tell you that there's a limitation in the form itself. Okay? It's a simple thing, but how it does not strike people, I don't get it. So that is why the word spirit is used. Where does the spirit issue come in? Because you are talking about a non-form. If God is to be all-powerful, all-pervading, all-good, all-giving, all-love, he has to be all-pervasive. If he has to be all-pervasive, he cannot be in the form of God or anything that you have created with a human mind. And if you pursue that, with that purpose, it is ignorance. And the reality of the world today is that we are a lot of ignorance is there. Lot of ignorance. And that we though we are in ignorance, we don't want to admit it. Because it's like somebody in a dream saying that, no, this is not a dream. The person who is living in a dream will believe that dream is true. Similarly, when we are living here, we think that this is the truth. When what you have seen of the reality is a minuscule portion of the vast universe we call the cosmos. Vast universe. It's not capable to be held by the mind. The mind does not have that capacity. So, this kind of ignorance about who we are, ignorance about the value of something, if we are having, then surely there is pain involved in that. That is why we call samsara. So we say the person is not bad. The person is not good. They are all trying. Let them try. They will try it 5 times, then they realize, oh, I get it. There is no point of going after this because anyway I am going to be unhappy after that. There is no point in going after 10 girls because anyway I am going to be unhappy after that. Whatever you want to call it. Or there is no point in going after 25 cars because anyway I am going to be unhappy after that. Or 50 motorbikes because I am still going to be unhappy after that. Still the fear will be there. So if a religion tries to play on the fear of a human being, then naturally that discriminative mind will not work. Discriminative mind will not work. Many of the organized religions, they try to create this fear using God. I think God is not a person who creates fear. In my experience of God he is a person who cannot create fear. Right? He is a person, if there was such a person, he cannot create fear. At best he can do something for you, that's all. But he cannot create fear. So this fear is created by the representatives of the God that we live in total ignorance. Okay? And this is something we have to redefine. Okay? Many good people, many religious people are good people. For every bad person, there is a good person. But the good person also suffers just as much. There must be some logic for that, right? So understand that. And the why people like Shankara, who talks about the discriminative part of the mind as the crown jewel for a human being. It's called Vivek Chudamani, crown jewel of the human being. The discriminative part is because it is the only aspect of the mind which can discriminate, which can shovel off, see, which can weigh, which will act according to a process which will be better in the long term, not just now. Okay? So that is the only aspect of the mind which will allow you to do that. There is no training in the school for that. There is no training in the college for that. There is no training in the house for that. So the only place you will get experience is on the field of samsara, in living. Samsara will teach you. And that is why even very good religious people have pain, a lot of pain. And the so-called bad people, essentially they are not bad, but they are still growing up from the animalistic tendencies to be a human being. First of all, as a human being, you have to first live like a human being, not like an animal. If you're carrying forward the lower level animalistic tendencies, that means you're still not come to the human level. Or you've got a body which looks like a human being, but certainly you are not a human. And we have come across people like that, right? So first you have to grow into a human being. Then only you can grow up to a divine being. So in this growth process also, all the time there is learning. All the time there are experiences. So the more quickly you learn, the more open you are to looking at your own experiences first. Seeing what does it say. People don't do that. They allow the experience to pass away and nothing has been learned from that. Nobody is doing that because they don't recognize it to be important enough. So if you do that, then you will have a place where you can understand why have I done, what have I done. So there are no good people, there are no bad people. There are a lot of ignorant people. Hari Om.